Hi everybody, it is time for a video. What guitar do we do? Ow, ow, ow. Okay, here we go. How about this nice tweed case? Doesn't that look cool? Old tweed cases are always exciting. When you see an old tweed case, you know it's going to be, well, expensive for one, but really cool. This is, my friends, a 1956 Esquire. And you know, most guys that do vintage guitars, if you've done it for a while, you learn to really love the Esquire. First, it's the look. Where's the pickup? Well, the pickup sits underneath here, right? I got to tell you a side story. I've bought guitars before where you go to someone's house and you take this off and they go, hey, what are you doing? Because they never changed the strings. This cover, by the way, is from lap steels. It's where lap steel players would rest their hands. So Fender made lap steels for years before they came out with the Spanish heel. And the first guitar they ever made was called an Esquire. It was a 2-pickup guitar. Those are prototypes, and there's probably, I don't know, 10 of those, maybe none left. There was a few of those around, and they're super valuable collectibles. This then, they came out with the Broadcaster after that in 1950, 51, and then they came out with the No-Caster because Gretsch had drums that were called Broadcaster, so they were, okay, we'll take the Broadcaster name and there's No-Caster. Then they came out with the Telecaster, but they're like, we need another model. I know, let's remove this $10 pickup, and then we've got a guitar that we can offer for cheaper. The Strat wasn't yet developed. And people started discovering that without this other pickup, that they're much more resonant. The guitars just acoustically rumble. Without that pickup, which is a brake, it's a magnet pulling at the 24th fret, the guitar itself ends up being much more resonant. So why the three-way switch? So in the back position, you have no tone control. In the middle position, you have a tone control. And then in the forward position, you have you are going to fire your bass player. So that really is what it is. It actually was in the catalog that this was kind of a replacement for a bass. Most people really played, you know, that really bright sound, which they called back in the 50s takeoff tone. That's kind of bright for people, and people would usually use it for solos. So it's interesting to note that the one pickup Telecaster, the Esquire, and this is a 56, you can see it has recessed holes. The edges are real sharp. This has wear and tear on it. So we've seen this era for as much as $50,000 if it's minty clean. This is not. So it's going to go for lots less. However, it is a clean, or it is a completely original guitar. It's got a nice V'd neck, really nice shape. It's been refretted recently. You're welcome. And I say that because a lot of times it's really difficult to make the decision to refret a guitar. And this guitar, with all its playwear here, had its frets worn down to the nubs. And it just got ridiculous. So this has a nice new fret job. Every note bends true. I know there's a lot of you out there that would love to buy a vintage guitar that has fresh frets in it because you can take it out and play it that same night and play it on stage, okay? It also is worth noting that Gibson made a one pickup guitar, and this guitar is, hey, wait for it, it's in similar condition, and if I can get the tag turned around, I'll tell you it's about $9,000, where this guitar is about $30,000. And they're the same, 56, one pickup. This guitar has a Brazilian rosewood board. This is a one-sheet Honduran mahogany. This guitar is made of mostly domestic woods. It's maple and ash body. And yet, why do these guitars get so much more than their Gibson counterparts? I'll tell you. It's because they're so durable. You could leave this in the snow and come back in the spring and it's going to be in tune. These are notoriously really durable guitars. They have a certain resonance and a certain look and character to it. Anytime you buy a vintage guitar, remember there's always going to be little quirks and flaws. Maybe one of the tuners catches a little bit. You may need to add some of that in. I know people that do cars, and some of those cars actually take a while to start in the morning. Why would anybody drive that? I don't get it. Or maybe those cars don't brake so good, or the headlights are kind of weak, or all those other things, and you still love that car. And it goes without saying that people love these, plus they like the fact that they've gone up in value for a long time, for 40 years, about 10% a year, more, but let's call it 10% a year. So that's about it for right now. We've got this gorgeous it's just a great guitar. There you go. Just wanted to show you that. And then now I've got to go eat my lunch. See you in a bit.